2026 meeting of the Westborough Public Library Board of Trustees to order. This is a hybrid meeting. So pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will also be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to access the meeting can do so by following the Zoom link listed in the agenda. I don't have the rest of the blurb, but we will do our best effort to.
Because you're also in person.
So we don't have to read the whole.
So you don't have to read.
Amazing. All of that. You follow up later on the library website. Yeah. Okay. Public forum, seeing none, I'm going to move into director's report.
Right, I will kind of pull up. So just very brief director's report this month, and I anticipate probably for the following few months. We are kind of in a position right now where construction project is taking up a significant portion of our time. It's funny, we talked about how once we moved in here, we would get a little bit of a lull, and we enjoyed that while it lasted. And I think we're just in a place where we're going to start making FF&E decisions and design decisions, and a lot of that work does kind of fall on us and the staff to make those decisions and to make sure that we're designing the library and the spaces to last, like to work for right now, but also anticipating the next 20 years. And so I think that that's the toughest part. I think we have a really good plan moving forward, but just to kind of level set, we have a lot of deadlines in place that we are working hard as a team to meet. And in addition to that, heading into budget season, coming into March town meeting. So all of this to say, we are very busy over here. It's good work, but it is, we are probably past capacity at this point. I think every Monday we come in and say the same thing. When we have Monday, it's been a few weeks now. So few things to point out here in terms of director's report. Nothing surprising in terms of stats. The numbers are kind of low, so they kind of skew a little bit. Nothing super surprising. Again, registered card holders are always going to look a little different because we did complete a purge. It's got to be 6 months ago now, but it does impact kind of year-to-year numbers because a lot of those numbers in our registered card holders should not have existed in that to begin with. So once they do the purge, those numbers come down a little bit. Door counts, pretty much on trend. I mean, I think we expect that winter will obviously look a little bit different than summer, but really kind of what we're expecting. Our busiest day we know is always Saturday, and that continues to trend that way. So nothing super surprising, but it's really nice to be able to just kind of pull these numbers and look. And I was just thinking in anticipation of mini golf on Friday to be able to kind of look hour by hour and how many people were in attendance. We can also look how long people stayed. That can help us determine next year. So this data is actually like super helpful for us and have really good accurate numbers as well. So we continue to be very happy with the new people counter system we installed. That is good. Legislative breakfast. So we hosted a legislative breakfast on Tuesday the 13th. I think most of you were in attendance, so thank you very much for coming and supporting the library. We had an amazing turnout, good amount of people. All of our reps showed up or had an aide come, which is fairly typical, but like we had a really good turnout both from the legislative community, but also the library community. And so you don't often see so many big players in one space. So it was really good to see that here in Westborough. And we got a lot of really positive feedback from that and a kind of better understanding of kind of the larger picture in terms of libraries and legislation here, which is always nice to see.
Before you move on, I just wanted to say a big thank you to you both. I think you did a fantastic job. It was a great turnout. I think the event ran very smoothly. So great job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a little, for those of you who weren't there, I had to have emergency surgery the Friday before, which was unanticipated. My only goal was to make it to that legislative breakfast. And
You
got
did.
there. Was sweating through the whole thing, but we got there and we made it work. So, but yeah, it was a great event, and this, I think the staff who came and attended really got a lot out of it. It's always great when we can kind of connect to the larger library world, and get some exposure that way. So it's really good to see. And again, really great to see so many of you there. I think if we look at it next year, hopefully we'll get, more participation from the town level would be really nice to see. And yeah, but I think it's always good to come together and talk about that and have the legislative agenda on that day. So we were a little worried we wouldn't have it. We got. So still no word, where it's still a process in terms of the state budget and what will be funded and what won't be funded. So still too early to know. Another thing I wanted to mention is one of our goals since before we moved here, but especially since we moved here, I think we have been very proactive in olive branching all of the departments here to try to see how we can work together. One of the things that we noticed was that there was some programs happening at rec or at senior center that really kind of spoke to some of the stuff we were doing here, or that our expertise would be really helpful to lend. Maybe they're running a tech program and it's something that we can do because this is what our training is. But they're hiring someone else to do it. So we decided to all come together and meet all of the kind of planners that exist in all of those departments, and had kind of a first meeting, get to know each other. They're still in process of hiring a new program coordinator at the senior center. And so it was just Kendra there from the senior center, the department head. But our whole leadership team went because now the entire leadership team runs programming. And so it was really nice to go there and talk about all of the things that we had coming up, come up with ways that we can work together, how we function similarly, how we function differently. And really to answer, I think, the community call of why is there so much overlap? And can we work together better? And I think our team has tried really hard to do that in the past, and it always fizzled for some reason or another. And this is really a joint effort to really get together with the people doing the work, to come up with some ways that we can resource share. And I think from that, I feel really positive at the end of it that we're going to get some movement on a few things. The thing that there's a lot of things that set us apart, but one of the main things that sets us apart from recreation is that by kind of MBLC and Massachusetts library law, we'll call it that, all of our programs must be free and open to the public. And so that is different. And so how do we work with them to maybe we go in together on the cost of a performer, but we're able to offer it for free that way and get that exposure to people. And so we're working on a whole bunch of different things that anticipate that there will be more of that moving into the spring and certainly in the summer. So it was a good meeting. I'm glad we did. We have another one planned next month. Our goal is to meet monthly. I hope that's sustainable. It might have, I think after we get established, quarterly might be a little bit better, but just as we get things rolling. So it was really good team effort. On that, another thing I want to mention is we have a one book, one borough is coming up. It has not been officially launched yet. That will be coming next month. But I wanted to mention it to you guys now so that you had some, just a heads up on what was coming and to kind of start getting you guys excited about that project. So it's the first one we've ever done. It's a collaboration between us, Westborough, Northborough, Southborough, and Marlborough, which it works out. But all of us came together. We all put together a team from our respective libraries to work together to do a community read of all the boroughs, reading a book together. And a lot of work went into the selection of the book, and they ended up picking The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, which has a lot of themes of togetherness, finding your place, care, connection, and the concept of being neighborly, which I think fits really well within this idea of one book, one borough. And so each respective library will be doing some programs around those themes. They will all go kind of in a collective. A couple of really cool things that we have planned. There'll be a library crawl where folks will be encouraged to go visit each of the borough libraries. And there's a prize for doing that, which is great because we all work together. We all serve the same people. We know that most of the people who come in here do not live in Westborough proper, but they choose to come here. I think for our staff, but it could be for any reason. And really just another reason that another big thing we'll have is an author visit by Sarah Beth Durst in May. So at the beginning of May, she'll be coming. That will be hosted in Marlborough because they have a venue large enough for hopefully what we anticipate a large crowd for that. We'll be giving away books. We'll be adding a ton of them to our collection, and hopefully everybody gets a chance to read it. All of the book clubs will be reading this for that either February, March, April, or May. Those are the months that it will run, and we'll have a ton of programming surrounding that, kind of all packaged together. So
What was the name of the book again?
it's called The Spell Shop.
Spell, S-P-E-L-L?
Yes, it's about a librarian.
Oh.
I think it's kind of
Do
fun.
you have the date in May for the?
It's May, like 6th or 7th. It's early in the month. I don't know for sure. But it is planned. It's in the books. She's very excited about it.
And she's gonna come here?
So it will be hosted in Marlborough.
Oh, in Marlborough.
Yes.
And she's, I think, is it Northborough?
I think she's from Northborough.
Northborough. The only
Yeah.
reason I know this is the book clubs are, at least two I'm in, have been promoting it
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there'll be marketing coming out for that soon. We have a One Book, One Borough logo. We've got, they'll be purchasing swag as a collective. And another really good thing about this is we get to do this really kind of robust programming. And realistically, we're only paying for a portion of it because it's resource shared among all the libraries. So hoping it's a success. If it is, it's something we'll look to do each year. And kind of grow the program. Year one is always kind of, you never quite know how it's going to go. But so far so good. And it's been really great to see our team work with the other librarians in the area and kind of, branch beyond our library a little bit. So that is coming. The other thing I want to mention, which is also this is coming, is this Friday, we have our Putt for the Library mini golf event. The evening event on the Friday night is 21 plus, and it will be, oh, this date is wrong here, but it will be very similar in last year, although what is very different is our venue. So we will be here in the new space, which means the golf course will be set up completely differently. And it was so funny when I was talking to the vendor who sets it up, he was like, "Oh, I can bring the big stuff." And he was so excited that there's no stairs. So it will be really interesting to have it in this space, but it's really also a really good reminder that we're here temporarily and that we kind of have something in the future to look forward to and also to fundraise for. So I'm excited about that. Tickets will be on sale at the door. They're also on sale now online. And we'll have the hip swayers there. There'll be appetizers. So hip swayers are live music. They're really, really good. And so I hope it'll be a really fun time. I hope to see you all there. Invite everybody you know. Should be a really cool event. It was so much fun last year. So I'm really looking forward to it this year. The unique piece is that the Saturday, which traditionally we've done a family fun day, we are still doing a family fun day, but what's really cool about how it was planned this year is that the Wave group is planning Winterfest, which they do every year, to happen concurrently. So not only can families come here and mini golf, but there'll also be things like face painting and a cupcake walk and character visits. And so there'll be something to do almost every day. So golf will start at 10 on Saturday, and then Winterfest events will start at 11 and kind of happen all throughout the day until 2 p.m. Everything on Saturday is free and open to the public. So it will probably not be a great place to come and study on Saturday morning, but it will be a really fun time to come in and enjoy some fun with your family and not have to purchase anything.
Has there been independent advertising for Winterfest? I don't feel like I've seen anything on it.
the teens have.
The teens have, we have a bunch of stuff up in that, like we have physical flyers.
Yeah, at Cha-Cha and Beans, and I mean,
Yeah.
it really is student driven, the WAVE program, and Jen, that's how she runs it.
I'm
Yeah,
just concerned that a lot of families don't know about
we can check in.
it. I haven't seen it on her social.
I have to assume that she sent it through the schools and things like, all those normal places that they go, but we can definitely look.
I think I've seen it on parents.
I saw it, and I saw it. The Hunt for the Library was on.
Yeah.
One of the most recent, I think it must have been Gibbons.
Yeah, so I'm from the library, but I didn't see any.
They sent that out on Fridays.
Yeah, we can look into that.
And maybe just like, I mean, she probably did reach out since that went through, but maybe it got lost in
Yeah.
the shuffle
Yeah.
with all the winter stuff that just happened, so.
Gotta.
Just got a few more days to see if that can go back out through the schools.
Definitely do that. And that is all I have for director's report. Was there any questions?
Lynn, could you just make that print a little bit larger? I learned from visual rather than audio, so if I could read it, what she was saying, I can retain it easier. Okay, that's good. Perfect.
For next up on a report.
Yeah, I'm,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
should know that I'm really going out of my way not to mention your use of the term olive branching. Shame. Oops, sorry. What I did want to ask you is that a real, first of all, is that a real term?
Think so.
I guess I could figure it out, but it's.
It's like a peace offering.
Yeah. Is there something bad about that?
I don't know.
Just-
Let's check Wikipedia.
We're gonna have to.
Anyway, the real point I wanted to ask you was last Friday, or perhaps it was 2 Fridays ago. When I came in to do the conversation, sort of, there's a table out front that and we had somebody from the select board there,
Planning board.
planning board, sorry.
Yes,
And we've got somebody else coming in this Friday.
I think it's the same person, right? Planning board, or is it somebody else from the planning board?
Well, possibly, but my real question is, it's a program that we have. And if so, why aren't we making, I think it's a wonderful program. And I was completely floored, and maybe I just I've been blundering right past these things, but
Yeah, so good question.
there were people there talking and filing in, and I'm pretty sure this is what's coming up with Friday.
Yeah, so it's not, like, I wouldn't call it a program, it is a partnership. And so when town departments want to have office hours, we always offer them whatever people.
This had none of the formalities of planning
Yeah.
for a meeting.
Yep,
And
exactly.
all of the
Information.
ambience of a one-on-one discussion rather than somebody on one side pontificating and said somebody on the other.
Yep.
And I think it was terrific. I know several, I was at the planning board meeting last week when there was all sorts of stuff going. And I'm looking forward to filling in, to having a discussion with this fellow about what was going on. So I really think this is something that we ought to leverage and get a little visibility out of. It's definitely delivering value.
Yeah, so I will say almost every department head meeting, and certainly towards the end of the year, I try really hard to make the offer of anyone who wants to come and use our space, because I think often they don't remember that we are here, and that we're an option, because I think just kind of where we existed and how we existed, I don't know that we're ever the ideal space or the easiest space, but I do think once they see the traffic that we get, I think word gets out to say this is a good place to come in and invite people to come in and talk to town.
Does it have to be just town?
No, like, Kate Donahue has come and done office hours, and yeah, it's open to the public.
Yeah.
Can I just clarify, because I'm not quite following, and I want to make sure I understand.
Sure.
So there's somebody from the planning board who was here just sort of talking with people?
So yeah, he had a table, just a table, and if people wanted to drop by and talk to him, they could
So
drop by.
you were asking about that, and you were explaining that this was not like a formal program or anything.
No,
He
it's
just
their
sort of set
department
up.
requesting space,
Okay.
or
Isn't this something that we could build into a program though? I mean, there are lots of needful organizations. And,
I think though,
Westborough Connects or the food pantry would all come in because people are always gonna have questions about it.
well, we already have that in that anybody can request a space to set up a public table. And I think Kate's just saying that she reminds the town monthly that, hey, this can be
Yeah.
used. So if you are part of any other organization that might benefit from this, let them know. So that like, hey, if you ever want to hold an office hour or an info table to help people spread the word of whatever work they do, that this is a great location for them.
And I'm not sure, but I think that trying to schedule that and plan for it every Friday or something would be a huge burden on staff.
Yeah, because we don't really schedule, we say, come in and.
Use our
Yeah.
space.
Grab a table.
So it's not even ours to advertise.
We don't normally, they do, yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Okay.
Speaking of tables. I don't know where this goes, but we were discussing that where would people go when all of us were signing up, everybody else is voting to run for
Oh,
office.
nomination.
The nomination stuff, but I did see that there was a little sign on one table that said you could use this, and I didn't know if we were making that public. Notices, and because I went by and I said, where was this when I was standing by the front door of the old place?
Yeah, we've always had it designated.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of our
that-
policies, to
yeah.
have designated space.
But we didn't decide last time. That
We
was
did.
one of the things that we were talking about.
It was because in the old space, it's how
Right.
it's set up that month, right? So whatever, we couldn't say, and I don't think we could say in the new space,
Yeah.
you know, the first table to the left of the entrance will always be that space because
Because I
we
saw a nice sign on it.
fluctuate our
Yeah.
uses so much there, but here they can.
Yeah.
But it always says to check with the front desk and they'll tell you where that designated space is.
Okay.
That day. Good reminders for uses of the library. Next up on the agenda is the update of the repair project. Everything is going well. We just had our last meeting on January 20th, what do we have? January 20th? Interesting. Anyway, everything's going well there. We do have an issue with the main chiller pipe, which we had mentioned last month. It's looking like that may need to be more of a replace the pipe at this point, which will be extensive, but we don't have full prices on that yet. So more from the LBC on what, and that would be covered under the contingency money for things that you find when you open up the walls or you take down the covering and then realize, oh, this pipe is corroded. What do we do now?
that had the rust?
Yes, that's the pipe that had the rust. I think it's up
Yeah,
there on the
they're-
wall as I stare at it and things. And so they are doing all the testing that they need to do to determine that we need to replace it or not. See if there's any other workaround around it. At this point, it's not really looking like that. And that's what the contingency money's for. So we'll keep you updated on that. Everything else is going fine. We're still on schedule and on budget. So, yeah. Anything else to add to that?
There is a small chance that work may push out our date slightly. We just are not sure yet.
And the board did approve a not to exceed amount
Yes.
for demolition and removal of the pipe at 50,000.
Right, so
And
some of that work is.
So that has
It
been
helps to
signed
remove it and
and
figure
they're
out.
expecting to move forward with that.
Part of the, how much is it actually gonna cost? Will be better figured out if they remove the pipe first and then figure out really how hard was it to remove, how easy will be to put back.
So how does that work? Like you say,
Well,
and not
so
exceed,
the-
I mean, what if it exceeds?
Well, so
Then they have to come back.
There-
Okay.
yeah,
They have to
yeah. I think they were quoted a very large number and they said that's ridiculous.
Okay.
We're gonna give you X amount.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
This is the advantage of having an OPM monitoring our project and running it. And this is where the town is truly getting their money's worth out of our
Absolutely.
OPM and having an OPM. Because in a regular project, we would have just said, hey, this is what we found this problem, and the contractor would have said, okay, here's your price to fix that. And we've been like, okay. And our OPM has the expertise and the background knowledge to say, pause that right there. Based on my knowledge and my expertise in other past projects, I actually don't think it's gonna cost that much. I think it's gonna be more like this, and these are the reasons why. So then they come up with a plan to how to get from their price to our price and in between. And so this piece around that is, let's remove the pipe. That will give us more information on what's gonna cost to fix it, and then we'll come back. But we can't delay starting the removal of that pipe because we're at the point where we're ready to start kind of putting things back together. And we can't do that with this little pipe. So they said, start doing the work to take it down. Don't exceed this amount, because that's based on OPM's knowledge saying, I don't really think you need more than this amount of money to take it down. If you do, come back and we'll have an emergency board meeting and approve whatever else is left. But then that'll give us the project to keep going while they then get more information to give us a price on what it will cost to put back. But that is the value of the OPM. We wouldn't have known to say, oh, that price is way too much.
Do they have heat and stuff in there?
They do,
Oh,
they do.
Just occurred to me.
Yeah, there's some heat.
They're cranking through the heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We
we're
go
not
over there every Tuesday and it's like, we always bundle up because we just have no idea. It's gonna be like over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions on the record? We will keep you posted, if it does impact the budget over our already approved amount, or if it exceeds the timeline. No. Yeah. Review discussion of the social media policy. Sorry. I got a new phone and I don't know how to work it. I will say. Social media. Thank you very much for putting the marked up version in there. That was very helpful.
We weren't sure it would make much sense, but at least it helped. See
No,
where we went.
Made a lot of,
Okay.
a lot of help.
Actually, maybe that's the better version.
I did have a question on it. Pull up the marked up version. Here we go. Okay, so when this policy was created, it was created for our employees to govern who was posting, because everybody was posting, not posting. And so I noticed that the employee part had been taken off, and I was wondering what the thought there was, because it's my understanding and the way I read this policy, even in its current form, is that this is all about staff members posting.
I think it is the Westborough Public Library social media policy, which includes staff, but also includes things that overarch what we will do as an institution. And so I think it was strictly an employee policy. It probably wouldn't be here at the board level, right? I think because it's an overarching, here's what the institution is doing, and here's how staff can post for the institution, or it's a guiding principle for staff, but it's not about staff. So if I say, Lynn comes to me and says, we have a comment and it says this, and it's defamatory, we look at the policy to determine if we can hide said comment or not, because that's our guiding principle. Rather than Lynn asking, can I, as an employee, delete this? It's more about the policy of the library and of the library's accounts. Especially given the way that Facebook and Instagram work. For the most part, if we're using it according to the rules, everybody has to have their personal accounts linked as underneath the umbrella of the library.
Well, so that was the other question that falls right into the part about that it was removed, that everyone had to log in through their town part. So that I had a question about that too. Yeah, with the exception of the library director, employees may not use personal accounts to administer any of the social media services. Employees must create social media accounts using authorized CWMRs or town emails.
So that
So
is
that's-
against user policy of most of our social media sites today.
Okay,
So that is why that's.
so that you can't have it.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to sign in with your
So if you create a profile using your CWMR's email, you're still making it
Your profile.
as yourself, and you're only allowed to have one profile, regardless of how many email addresses you might have. You can't make 10 Mary Johnston Facebook profiles. And so part of the terms of use is you're allowed one account. And so I say we are
You're
not
saying, like,
supposed to,
Kate
because I'm
Caraccio
saying,
At Westborough versus Kate Caraccio, personal.
There's only one Kate.
Want.
correct. Per their terms of use. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Right, right.
I'm just saying if
For the
people
right part.
are doing both, there is a chance one could get deleted or both could get deleted.
Yeah.
Because we are kind of playing by their rules.
Interesting.
I also was wondering about, is it Communico?
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Because I don't at all know how it works. Are there things that we need to think about for that, for this?
No. Yeah. Which is great.
Good.
Yes.
And that was such an easy answer.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And then number 2 that was stricken. Just give us your thoughts on that.
I did not feel like, I think again, this is part of, that feels like procedural and not policy. And so that is very much like, here's exactly how we're gonna do it. So that is not how we do it now, currently. There is no social media team right now, and there has not been for a very long time. And so if we put that in policy, then we have to do it that way, regardless of if that works the best for the workflow and the particular social media. But I've never in policy seen things like a social media team will meet twice a year to review it. That's very much procedure. And so part of what we're trying to do in this is we have a guiding principle procedural document, a whole marketing plan that we've been working on with our team here. And that includes things like who is on the social media team, which will change as people come and go and hop off and hop on. How often they post should kind of be determined by that social media team based on best practices.
Right, and that's the stuff that's procedural.
Yeah,
But I don't think, but so you do have a social media team.
no, not yet.
I'm sorry, I thought that's what you just said.
So we're in the process of forming one. We have not had one since I've been here, and I don't know how long before that we had an actual team. It's always been, I think, a singular person posting.
Yes, mostly
Yeah.
single person or in conjunction with the technical services line.
Yeah.
In the door.
Yes.
Excuse me. So I guess my question would be, what is the philosophy now? Because the philosophy, when this was established, was that too many people had access to posting and that it should be limited to identified people. And if someone wanted to post something, it would go through that person. What's the philosophy guiding principle now?
So I think in practice, what that looked like was we had one designated poster. And so everything was bottlenecked through that person's schedule. And if something really fun happened when that person wasn't here, it didn't go out. Or it went out 3 days later. And that's not, I think, in today's social media, it's really important to kind of, post as it comes. And I would say in terms of workflow, that's a very common workflow that had it existed here. In terms of marketing and just in terms of a lot of stuff, a lot of bottlenecks existing. And I think my philosophy is you have the appropriate cooks in the kitchen with the appropriate tools and training so that we can have more than one person posting to our social medias, because it is a big job.
Yeah.
And
it's
everybody
grown
needs
so
to
much
be able to
since
do
this was
it.
even put into place.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's gonna look different for Instagram than Facebook, than TikTok, and all the new ones that come and go. And
so part of this too was ensuring continuity across those postings to a certain degree. so that it always felt like it came from the library, you know what I mean? Like, and so how
Yeah.
do you safeguard that with so many people?
So I think there is such a thing as tone and brand recognition. I think what that looked like in practice was the same things getting posted everywhere. And so you would, a good example is our website. Our website has an Instagram feed and a Facebook feed. And so when you scroll down, you see them both and they're identical.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I'm
that's,
assuming it was linked at some point and one went up and it went.
and they are still linked, and sometimes that's going to be the right approach. But there is a distinct and different audience for both of those. And so looking at them separately can sometimes be a benefit. Other times it won't be. And so I think part of our marketing plan is that brand recognition, making sure that our flyers look similar, right? People know it's Westborough Public Library. Same with our posts. And that we're posting more than just graphics has been one of the things that we're trying really hard to do. And we've been on the pathway to do, and all of this under this marketing plan document that has been in the works for quite some time.
Anybody have any questions?
Have we? I was in a meeting or a chat with one of those people, and I don't know if it was here or not, with the town people about branding. I think, I don't know if you were there or not. They want to put all of these signs up in
So
front
that
of
was
us.
at our
Yeah.
November meeting.
Right.
We signed it.
And how does that fit in with our vision of what our, you know, like you're putting it on site and they want to put up, as I mentioned to them, a beautiful looking sign with a sleigh on it. How is that working? Trying to get our marketing in line with what maybe the town is deciding what our marketing is.
So I think that specific initiative isn't about brand marketing and not about organizational marketing, but about finding, I mean, like, I'm trying to find a different word than wayfinding, because I think, right, but like finding your way in town, like directional.
Mhm.
So it doesn't link into any of our branding. Like that logo that we were talking, that wouldn't appear on any of our social medias.
Right. So I was just wondering how much power they had to say, you know, we don't want your logo, you know, that lovely little thing. It looks too clunky next to our one with the sleigh.
Yeah, I don't know
They
that
don't.
that,
Okay, because
that's gonna
I
be-
wasn't happy with.
yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
that that's a
sure.
part of this.
Oh, okay, so
Um,
this,
We've always had a strong and separate identity in terms of social media because our audiences are so different than the town. But I was recently able to get access to the town's social medias, so we now have the opportunity to post directly to that as well.
Right.
Which is one of the things that we had kind of noticed that other departments were doing, and we didn't really have that ability yet, and so we do now have that ability.
Going back to a question that just occurred to me, you said, you know, things need to be posted pretty quickly. So has everybody been sort of trained in, this is the tone, this is the visuals we're looking for?
So it's a process. I would say not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. And that's kind of what we're looking to do. Again, having that marketing and branding guide as, and within that also a posting schedule. So that we're not posting over each other, so that things, and within that people can plan ahead. And I, as children's librarian, can sit down on a Monday and plan out my post for kind of the regular stuff happening and get those all in. So that we always have something going on.
So what would that training be?
It would be training on what our brand standards are, what tone of voice is. We did have a marketing training. How long ago? It's like a year ago. Yeah, we had a librarian come in, a marketing librarian come in and do a training for our staff about a year ago. And I think that was helpful, but that was just the start of this process. And so it is going to be a longer process to get where I want to end up, which is like a well-oiled machine. But I do think we're getting better. So yeah, it will be a long process, but we'll have our kind of guiding procedural documentation and this policy.
Any other questions about edits or anything missing? Right. So this is a revision of an existing policy, so you just need to vote on the corrections or revisions that we see discussed tonight. Take a motion to accept.
So I move to accept the revisions to the social media policy.
Someone second? There's that. All in favor? Janine, I'll take your vote. There you go. I don't know, I think I have to call you by name since you're not here, but I saw your hand.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
I don't think I had an updated Corey. Did you get one submitted to you, Lynn?
No, have to.
Not on our next. Agenda. Library closure dates. In our trustee folder, there was a list of, as we, we approve closure dates for the following year in January. Everything seemed pretty on par for what we already have there. Some of the staff development closures are listed at the bottom separately because they're not full day closures. They're opening half day closures. So the library would open at 1 o'clock on those Fridays that are listed. I think it's really helpful to have them all on the same day of the week. So it's like, oh, that's what that is again. Yes, super helpful for consistency. My only question about that, and I was just thought of it saying it now that they're all at Fridays. Does that exclude any staff? If we always had them on Fridays, they wouldn't be able to be here.
We've always done them on Fridays.
Right.
Yeah, we adjust, we do a lot of work adjusting schedules to make sure that people can. Traditionally, Friday is our day off for working Saturday for full-time staff. They will get a different day off, or the option to do a half day.
Great. Any questions? All right, we'll take a motion to accept these library closures as listed.
I motion.
Second, Julia, Mary is the second.
Was
Julia's,
Oh, yeah, thank you.
made the motion. All in favor?
Yes.
Thanks. Okay. Brings us up to standing agenda items. Wayfinding, we did that. So that can be closed. So we have consultants.
So that's still in process. I have a meeting, I think the third week in February with Maura Didi. He was really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens from kind of that initial meeting.
What is it?
Huh?
When is that meeting?
I think it is February. It's the third week in February.
Okay. All right. Suggestion box, we'll get to that in a minute.
So we can close wayfinding, so
Yeah. Yeah, and close wayfinding.
what are we, right, it's closed, just closed.
We had Fred, Leonardo come and give us a presentation on that. We agreed to in the future work collaboratively with them if we were to ever change our sign. Maybe just write, senior member. All right. Kate, you and I need to work on a relationship building for April. Quarterly newsletter, has that come back online? Not yet. Is it like done?
I don't know.
So it's kind of been replaced with a select board update.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah,
if
they were
that-
doing like what open forum meetings are happening in town, kind of like a one pager
Okay.
instead.
So let's take this quarterly newsletter off our open items list if we have nothing to do with it. And our bird display
I'm gonna say is it discontinued or?
is continued from town. I think that's too bad, 'cause I like that format. That was a good way to get some information out.
And I used to get emails telling me to go look for it, but the thing you're talking about, I'm not getting emails about.
No, and we haven't had a department head meeting in 2 months. They canceled December and they canceled this month. So I don't have a lot of updates.
Okay. Well, if you ever hear anything, let us know if anything's taking over there. Great. And the bird display, Ed's hiking out. Okay, anything in the suggestion box?
Bring back the magazine
I-
swap.
Okay. Well,
Clearly, that's a priority. for some
it is a priority. Decisions have to be made with the new space that we have, so we will see what happens in the future. Okay, thank you for that reminder about next. Okay. That brings us to treasurer's report.
So the only thing of note, we're obviously into the second half of the fiscal year,
Which is wild.
and we're pretty much on target with everything. You'll notice that our operational expenses are slightly lower, but that's because we don't have anything to maintain, so we're not spending that money.
Good stuff.
And in our online resources, many of those come due at the end of the fiscal year. So it looks like we have a lot of money, but really we don't.
It's encumbered.
Already spent up here.
Yeah.
Are in those 2 months. All right, sounds good.
And one of the things I wanted to discuss in terms of kind of our budgeting is what I'd like to do moving forward, and I'm open to feedback here, is generally when I've seen a treasurer's report, whatever month we're meeting in, say it's January, we're looking at the December report, right? December 1 through 31. And so we kind of do a snapshot there and we bring it to you guys in January. And the reason that that's super helpful, is it gives me a couple of weeks to look at it, make sure it's accurate, see if we need to change anything. So that's helpful. Secondarily, it's helpful in looking back. So if I'm looking at, we're looking at December's of 2025, we can look at December of 2024 and have an apples to apples. Versus kind of ours are on random dates and not a snapshot of the month. And so it's really hard to get an apples to apples comparison of where we were last year versus where we are this year. And so it would be helpful, I think, from an administrative perspective to have it kind of done that way. Like when I present to you statistics in my report, they're December statistics in January, even though it's January 28th.
And this is up to date to
Up to date.
Up to
We did
date
it
today. So often it isn't completed until a few hours before this meeting or yesterday, whenever the bills go in.
Yeah,
I've actually always thought it would be helpful to do it.
To
It
have
makes
a more-
sense to me.
yeah. The only thing that I would say is maybe in addition to that, you could have a notation at the bottom, if in between those 3 weeks, something crazy happened,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
guess what's coming? That would be great, which I think would be something to talk about. So yeah, if we want to ship, so then a lot of this month's stats are already in this. So we'll just all know and recognize that next month it's gonna be a large
It'll look
repeat of
very
what we
similar.
see right here. So when we see that it, changed from 2% to 3%, that's because we're adding a week
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's helpful to do it starting like January.
Yeah.
So that we have like the calendar year at least.
Right.
And then I was thinking some of the times we have a meeting for whatever reason, whether it's a holiday or whatever, our meeting is in 3 weeks.
Correct, right.
And then so
We shorten that,
Yeah.
those stats.
yes, so this would make it more consistent in terms of dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I would just say add, or even off to the like our memos or notes for anything that's crazy that you know of has happened. But other than that,
Right.
that sounds fine.
Beautiful.
So yeah, prepare for our February meeting to just be a January.
Yeah.
So
January.
hopefully all the
31.
work's almost done for that. So great. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And-
just note if there are any sort of unexpected expenses that happen
In between.
in between.
Yeah, so if we were in the old building, I would say if something crazy happened with
Yeah.
our HVAC and we
Hopefully
now know that we're
no
negative in whatever
unexpected.
account, yeah.
Hopefully all that craziness is over.
I hope so.
okay, so I have a question. It's not a big deal, but I'm just curious. In fuel and oil,
Mhm.
it says 1% spot. Is that this building or that building?
It is that building. We
Okay.
don't pay any utilities
Yeah,
here,
that's
but
what I thought.
for Eversource, if you have your account and you want to maintain your account.
Yeah.
You have to pay $21 per month.
Hmm.
So
Oh.
that was July and
Wonderful.
August, but now that they're actually
Now that
using the
they're COVID,
building for
yeah.
fuel, Seaver is paying that.
Right,
So,
right. Okay, great. I was just curious. I was like,
So hopefully that stays $84 till the end of the fiscal year.
yeah, it should.
Amazing.
It will.
Okay, good stuff. Awesome. Thank you for that clarification. It's professional. Okay, so now this is gonna bring us to several meeting minutes approvals. Yeah, I did the November meeting minutes, but I was like, how come I don't have the votes for those two? Because we didn't have enough people here that had attended those meetings to review them in the November meeting, so we didn't do it. But then we didn't do it in December. So we're gonna start with approval of, and I put a copy of the September minutes into, so we didn't have to go back and forth. So we're gonna review and approve the September 24th meeting minutes. I think everyone but Janine was there, so everyone that's in this room can vote on it.
Fine with me.
I'll take a motion to approve the September minutes as. Mike? Awesome.
I'll second.
It'll second it. All in favor? Approved.
So it was Mike and Kate.
Mike?
And Janine will be
Janine's gonna be abstained, if that's okay with you, Janine, because you weren't at that meeting. She's good. All right, and that brings us to the October 21st meeting. Julia, you were not at this meeting, so you cannot vote on it. Janine, you were at this meeting, so you can vote on it. Yeah. Make a motion to accept these minutes on the second one. Go ahead.
There's some question marks in here at the end of the closing time.
Oh, ooh,
I think it's a typo. I'm not even sure we need to say that it's been amended if we just take those questions.
Yeah, if you just take them out, we'll vote as a review. We couldn't have finished at 6:43
So I'll second.
because we started at 7:15.
hmm. Yeah, that didn't make much sense. Hmm.
Well, that was the meeting right before town meeting, so it was really short.
So it
Yeah.
was
Oh,
6:45.
yeah.
You're right. So
It was
it
in the
was well, that's
hallway.
right. There you go.
Yeah.
That's probably why you were like, why at 6:45? That's why, because we were in town meeting. So great, perfect.
So it just needs a second.
So we just need to second that. Michael, second that for us?
So this, who
Okay.
did that first?
Mary did,
Okay. It's Mary,
and then Mike.
and who abstained for that one?
Julia's gonna abstain from it.
Okay,
All in favor of accepting this?
Yes.
Excellent. With Janine, we're good. And that brings us to November meeting.
Oh, is there one more?
Oh, there's two more. Should be two more, right? Yeah, there we go. November 19th, this is the meeting where we had Fred Leonardo come. There was only Mary, myself, Mike, Dot, and Julia there. If Dot's not here, and we vote, because that is not enough. We cannot vote on this. No. All right, so we will put that in the November minutes. What I'm going to do is, as you sent that over to Westborough TV, that link.
Yeah.
The last few minutes of that meeting was not, it was like corrupted or something. I don't know, it just stopped.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so when we get that link from Westborough TV, if we want to send it out And then everyone can watch that meeting, and anyone can. In case we run into this,
Yes.
that'd be great. So whatever they. So,
Uh,
side note on the Westborough TV
remember.
thing, there was only 4 meetings from 2025 listed on their playlist. And it was like February, July, August, and then December.
We didn't have,
When did we do that?
no, I think.
No, we've had that for a while.
There were a couple that did not happen because my computer does not stay on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
And it kept kicking me off.
Okay.
Yeah, in the early days.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but like, I feel like.
But
like
they might be
November,
there and just
the
not on the,
October, yeah,
playlist.
so it was, but like I searched Westborough TV, Westborough Trustees,
I'll
and the
go-
only ones that came up, I think it was either January, February, then in July, August, and December. And I was like, I know we've done that in
Yeah,
the fall, so
yeah.
like the September, October meetings are not, I know. And like we talked
I'll
about
go
it.
back
in the
through,
fall.
but I did send them. to
Do you,
Yeah.
do your own search too,
right
because
away.
I searched Westborough TV, I searched
Mhm.
Google for it, I searched our site, and I was like, I keep finding the same 4 meetings.
Okay,
so straight.
Yeah,
okay.
so.
Yeah. if
Then
there's-
once we get that, we'll send it out to everyone, then you guys can watch that meeting, and then who's ever at this meeting can vote on it, it's because then you've all watched. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so who's gonna send that out?
I'll send out the link.
Lynn will send out the link to everybody. That'd be great. Okay, so then we'll wait on those, and then that brings us to December minutes. December 17th. We were all there, full board, so everyone can vote on.
Oh, you're waiting for someone to move.
Oh, look, let's accept that. Mary will move to accept it.
I'll second.
Kate will second it. All in favor?
Yes.
Hooray, we're up to date on our meeting. Mostly, except for November. But that's it.
You're right, there's one couple.
That was exciting.
That was a lot. Appreciate it. Okay, Friends and Foundation, yay, having a fundraiser.
Yeah,
So exciting. And the
Friends
naming
has-
policy went through.
Yes.
Perfect.
So, in terms of foundation, we've been doing a lot of work on getting ready for mini golf, but also using that donation policy.
Yeah.
To working with Maureen to craft a letter to get out there and start fundraising. I've also had a few meetings with people interested in donating who want some information on what we do. And so that's been a lot, but it's all been really good and exciting. So yeah, foundations, getting ready to really start hitting the ground running. I think that mini golf will be a really good launch for that.
That'll be a great launch for that.
Yeah, so excited about that. Friends had their annual meeting January. So last week?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that went by fast. And yet feels so far. Had their annual meeting, which was really great. That's always a really fun meeting to attend. So if you've never gone, I highly encourage it.
Sandy makes cookies.
She does, and that is the big thing.
I did cookies.
And they are worth it. We are really grateful to them for fully funding our ask for calendar year 2026, which is great because we have added a lot more programmers to the mix and kind of changed the way that we made our ask to try to be more mindful of how we fund staff development. And so really grateful for them for being really great partners. And they spoke a lot about how to get more creative in how they fundraise. The book sales continue to be really well received, even in this space, even when they're not outside, which is really great to see. And even though they missed 2 book sales last year, still kind of on track to be where they were last year, which is really good.
That's great.
And hopeful that we don't miss one this upcoming year because we figure even if we move, the space will still be available.
Yeah.
And so if we're in the middle of it all, we can still hold a sale.
Oh, yeah.
So really good meeting. So do you have anything else?
No, they were
Awesome. And I'm assuming they'll make all that. donation stuff will be at a table on Friday.
Should be.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, fabulous. So that brings us to, nope, sorry, I totally skipped over. We went from, I'm gonna back up because we went from comment box.
Oh,
I skipped over community outreach. Can we just pet peeve change outreach to advocacy? We had talked about
yeah,
that in
we
the
did talk
November
about
meeting,
that.
that going forward, we would change that to trustee community advocacy. Just to keep that clarification between what the library staff does for outreach versus what we do as advocacy. So. Any update, because we paused that for a little bit, if I'm correct, the last time.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great. And then Friday night, what a great opportunity for advocacy from trustees. Hope to see you there. And then library director, assistant director issues, anything outside of what we've talked about tonight. Yep. Any trustee issues anyone like to bring up? Kate,
You know me, I'm always complaining.
go for it.
When I mentioned the book club promoting the one borough, one
Yeah.
book, one borough, which
Yeah.
is amazing. Also, both the book clubs I belong to, and I presume all of them, are really good about communicating what's the book, what's the next book, where do I, it's been wonderful. But the thing that I wanted to raise today is the I was literally walking into my book club last Tuesday or the Tuesday before, I forget now. On the phone with Carolyn Spring, telling me about her friend's son who just published a book. And she really wants to donate it to the library. Could I mention it? So I mentioned it to, oh my God, my brain. Karen, thank you.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to Karen, and the next time I saw Caroline, which I think was the next day, she said that her friend had already received a call about it. And was gonna send us a book, or Karen had already, I don't know how it was, but we were gonna get a copy of the book. It's a real publisher, it's not self-published. So Westborough, former resident, I'm presuming he's moved on. But their book is gonna be on our shelves, and part of that is because our staff doesn't rest on it. They just keep moving.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and I think what's really nice here about that is that it does call to, when we hired Karen, it was a new position of reader services, and how important that is, someone to be here to do that work, to work collaboratively with tech services and also adult services, and kind of bridge that gap. And so it's great to hear.
And I literally just mentioned it as sort of a preview for knocking you up about it.
Oh.
Didn't even have to
Save
do
me the
that.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
great.
awesome.
What's his name? Is it Carolyn's nephew, son?
No, it's a son of a friend of
Yeah.
hers,
Okay,
and
so
I
I'm
couldn't tell you the name off the top of my head.
Okay.
The book is something like, "Why Are You in My Office?" or something.
Yep. And just to say out loud in this room, it doesn't always happen that way. Every single selection item has to go through our collection development policy before it's added. This one just happened to make the cut. So we're very excited about it.
Yeah, and super awesome too that it's a local connection.
Yeah,
Great that we can bring it to this library.
I know I wrote it down somewhere. Mary.
That's
I'll find it.
I'll just
email
call
it to you.
Carolyn.
Love it. Okay, any other issues? Okay, so that brings us to next month's agenda items. So we're gonna put on policy we just talked about. What was that one? The Corey policy. And that would be a new one, so it'll be a 2-month discussion.
Is it an
No, it's an
No?
edit.
Oh, I thought it said in the
didn't
agenda that
remember
it was
we
a
had
new.
Corey.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We do. I will.
It's in our working documents. Yeah, we'll look it up.
Yeah, because it's in this month, it says review Corey policy for discussion / vote next meeting. So that's what I think, maybe assume it was a new policy. Yeah. So look it up.
I will make it available.
Either way. Yeah, sounds good. And then the November meeting minutes for approval. Any other policies, since this one was from last month, what was on the schedule already?
I looked at it today too, because I knew that would come up, and I was like, we need to know what's coming up next. It was Corey, but there was also another one, and I feel like it was one that already exists.
Yeah, we're just going through.
We're just going through the schedule. So not sure off the top of my head. But the schedule that is in the drive, I think it's in the trustee drive, is what we use. Yes, it is. It is 1 month off. But I feel like we're ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, where is this? I don't see the schedule. Anyway, that we actually, you could just tell me about that, like,
Yeah.
where to find it. I don't
Alright.
need to take a
I
meeting.
will send that out. I will send the link to the November meeting. And I
Okay.
will send the Corey policy so
Okay.
that you have it
Thank you.
ahead of time.
Oh, you know what? It was gifts, bequests, and donations.
Oh, isn't that?
It's for our head.
Okay,
And then privacy policy. So we might actually work on privacy policy, which probably won't change.
okay,
And because that will need to be loaded into Communico.
okay. So you wanna do privacy?
I think we
then?
should do privacy
Okay.
policy.
All right, privacy policy.
Privacy policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. If there, see nothing else at 8:27, I'll take a motion to adjourn. 1, 2, and a second. Julia, all in favor?
Yes.
Yay, thank you. Janine, good luck. Keep us posted on what happens.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Need it?